going? I didn't see you over there. My name's Xander Fryer. I'm the CEO and founder of High Impact Coaching, best-selling author and international speaker. And today I wanted to talk to you about all of the things that coaches do to get a business up and running that they don't actually need to. So I want to run through all of the things that you don't actually need to get a coaching business up and running. And the reason that this came to me was because I was on a coaching call with one of my clients the other day, and she asked me, she said, Xander, I'm doing my logo, I'm redoing my logo right now, and I wanted to get your opinion on whether this one looks better, but it's got pink, so it might not connect with a male audience, or if I should go with this one, but it's not as good of a logo, but it's more middle ground. And you know what I told her? I said, it doesn't matter. I said, get rid of both of them. You don't need a logo to get started. See, a lot of coaches think that one of the most important things that they need is a pretty logo, a fancy name, or a website. And somehow their website is actually just going to magically attract them clients, right? You're gonna go pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for all this branding and design work to get done, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have clients that just come flooding through your front gates. Well, here's the deal. There's over 50,000 new websites that's created every single month. So why does yours stand out from everybody else? And why do all of a sudden all these clients want to come flooding to you? We actually tell our clients that you should not put together a website or a logo or a brand name until you're about 6 months in business. You have at least 3 months of consistent, profitable business, and you've made over $30,000 in your business. Only then do you actually know the message that's going to connect with your audience, and you should put together a website and branding and logos and things like that. So you don't need a logo, you don't need a brand name, and you don't need a website. That's number one. Number two, a lot of coaches get caught up in this idea of needing a certification to be a coach. Well, the truth is the certification does not make the coach. Now, I'm not going to say that certifications aren't good, right? Certifications can be very helpful to give you methodologies or frameworks in order for you to be able to coach and help people. But a lot of people think that the certification itself is going to build the coaching business, and it doesn't. Actually, the certification can actually detract from your coaching business, because if you market yourself as XYZ certified, it actually positions you as a commodity against all the other people that are XYZ certified, right? And I have several certifications, but I never use these certifications in my marketing. Because if I use those certifications in my marketing, it would position me against all the other hundreds of people that have gone through this certification or this certification or that certification, right? So a certification can actually detract from you. You don't need a certification to get a coaching business up and running, as long as you have the expertise and the knowledge and the gifts that can help people. That's what you need. You don't need that, number two. Number three of what you do not need. You don't need a blog or a podcast. Right? Again, there's I believe it's over 20,000 new blogs or podcasts that come up every single month now, right? People are inundated with free content out there, and putting up a blog or putting up a podcast does not make you an expert in your space. In fact, there's hundreds and thousands of coaches out there right now that go down this path of content marketing. Everybody told them that they needed a blog, they needed a podcast, they needed, all this stuff, and they've been putting out content for months, even years, and not getting any traction, not growing their business. You don't need a blog or a podcast to get up and running. In fact, I made $1.8 million in our business before I ever put up a blog or a podcast. I want you to think about that. 1.8 million before we ever put up a blog or a podcast, and the website that we were working off before, it cost me about $200 to put together. That's what I want you to understand. You don't need any of that stuff to get started, all right? You don't need a best-selling book. I think this is another thing that a lot of coaches think that they need to have spoken on big stages internationally. They think they need to have a best-selling book. So they go spend 12 months writing out their life story in a book, and then they go try and sell it, and they expect that by writing all of these things, they're getting their message out and everybody's gonna buy this book. But what you don't realize is you didn't deserve to write that book yet, because your story's not finished. You didn't get to that desired outcome yet. People only want to read about your story once you've gotten to that outcome. So if you're writing a book before you've gotten to that desired outcome, nobody's gonna read it. Most books, according to Amazon, only sell about 200 copies, and most of them are to their friends and family. So you spend 12 months and putting your entire life's work into this book, and nobody but your friends and family read it. So you don't need a book to get your business up and running. Another thing that you do not need a big audience. All right, I think a lot of people believe that they need a big brand name, or they need a big audience, a big email list, a big YouTube following, a social media following to actually get their audience up and running. When I first built my business, I had my first 6-figure salary month. I made $13K in a month, and we just went up 50% from there. I made $13K my first month when I had an Instagram of 300 people, a Facebook group of 47, no website. My LinkedIn said that I still worked at Cisco Systems, right? You don't need a big brand or audience. You just need to know how to properly communicate with the audience that you do have in order to help them realize that they have a problem that you can help them solve, all right? Another thing that you do not need to start your coaching business is testimonials. Now, again, don't get me wrong, testimonials are very, very helpful to overcome people's objections and just very quickly prove that you can do something great, which is why we make sure that we have, all our success stories, and you get to see all of them, right? Because we've helped thousands of people be successful. So we want to make sure that you see that, right? So that you can realize and trust, okay, yeah, high impact coaching can actually help us. But before you have testimonials, if you know that you can really help people, you can help build authority by doing something that we call communicating their problem better than they can. This is one of the verbalisms of one of the laws of sales and marketing. I first heard this from Dan Kennedy. He says, if you can communicate somebody's problem better than they can, they will automatically assume that you can help them solve it. And when you can do this with your clients, you actually don't need testimonials. You don't need social proof, because people will trust you as a doctor. When a doctor explains your problems and your symptoms better than you can, and then tells you what the issue is, you're like, oh man, this doctor can help me solve it. You become the doctor by describing people's problems better than they can. So you don't need testimonials. You do not need any of these things to start a coaching business. And if you think that you need these things and you go down this path, you may spend thousands of dollars and many, many man hours going down paths that do not help you build your business the right way. What you do need is only 3 things. You need 3 things in order to successfully start a coaching business. Number 1 is faith. It's faith. It's the belief and the conviction that you can do this. Not only that you can do this, but you have to do this, because there are people out there that need your help right now. And if you don't get out there and help them, nobody will. You have to have that faith that everything that you go through to become that coach that you need to become is worth it. The faith to be able to grow. The resiliency to be able to handle failures. Not only handle failures, but seek failures. To become bigger and become better. That faith and conviction in yourself to know that you might fall down, but to get back up and keep going, because it's not about you. It never was, and it never will be. Number 1, you need faith. Number 2, you need the functional business systems to help you grow your coaching business. Now, most coaches have the functional coaching systems to build their coaching business, but you have to remember, to build a coaching business, there's 2 halves to the story. Coaching business, there's the coaching and there's the business. You need both halves. If you have a functional system to help you be a great coach, but you don't have the functional systems to build the business, you'll never be successful. You need the functional systems to be able to position yourself as the expert for premium prices. You need the functional systems to be able to enroll and sell and promote to clients so that they actually pay you what you're really worth. You need the functional systems to be able to market and lead generate consistently, because if you can't lead generate consistently, you're never going to be able to have clients. Right? You need all of these things from a business standpoint to have a successful coaching business. And the last thing that you need to be successful in your coaching business and get this up and running is family. You need a support community. Jim Rohn once said that we are the sum of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Now, if you spend your time with people that don't believe in you, with people that are 9-to-5ers, stuck in the corporate mindset, people that hold themselves back, that think negatively, that don't believe that you can make this possible, what do you think is going to happen to your head? What do you think is going to happen when you hit a roadblock or a speed bump? Because I guarantee you're going to hit speed bumps. What is gonna happen if you don't have the people there to lift you up when you get punched in the face and you're ready to fall down? You're never gonna make it. So the 3 things that you absolutely need to start a coaching business. Number 1 is the faith. Number 2 is the functional systems. And number 3 is the family. And if you don't have all of those 3 things, make sure to get out there and find it right away, all right? I'm Xander Fryer, and I'll talk to you soon.